Alright, folks. Welcome to the stream. According to my viewer count, we got a couple of you here. Welcome. Welcome. Good to see you. So, today, I'm going to take a quick break from Holotrial's level design and signs and work on level designs and signs. Sorry, not level design so much. But we are still working on Hello, Pope. I want to say hello to you specifically. Thank you for hanging out. So, yeah, we over the weekend, I worked a lot on Trial 9. It is in a good spot right now. And I decided before tackling Trial 10, I would like to go back through Trials 2 through 9 and get videos done. And so for the first time on stream, I'm going to be doing video editing. Now this isn't sort of the big fancy pants video editing like I've done for, you know, our trailers or maybe the very merry Barony Christmas mod. It has a bit more of a grandiose trailer to it. What up, Bank? What up? Instead, I'll be editing videos that are like, you know, 10 seconds long max, and so the content of my edits has to be really punchy. It has to hide and expose everything that I want so that it is the most informative little video clip that you can ever imagine. And so last night, I was hanging out watching TV on my couch, capturing Holotrials videos. And these are all the videos I captured. It is a lot of videos. I believe I'm missing some that I got the other day, but I have not edited yet. Maybe the first step, like I've started editing these Trial 2 ones here, but I have not finished editing them. And some of these Trial 3 ones. So maybe one of the first steps I should do is go through the videos and organize them. Did the lava pit have a video showing how lava is the fastest way to die? No, I did not bother creating a video for that one. It seemed redundant and pointless. I don't want a video for every single stinking sign. I want it to be special when you see a video, so you know, hey, I should pay attention to that video. It probably has important information. Where if I just sort of force myself to have, by the way, Pope, I love that you're paying close enough attention that you know that sign. That's really funny. So yeah, I think maybe the best thing to do will be for me to watch these videos and organize them into the proper trials, and then I can edit them one trial at a time. So let's just get started on that process. I think it'll actually be fun. I don't think it'll take that long. Let's open this in a new video, or a new window rather. And let's just start. Let's just do it like this, one at a time. But yeah, thanks for showing up. Sorry I'm late today. Mondays are a little weird sometimes. My kids and my wife went back to school. And this is like the first full school day. I say my wife went back to school, but that's because she works for the school. She's not a teacher. She's a part of the support staff. But and she's there just because she loves it. Yeah, we talked about whether or not she should get a different job to make money, but the reason why she's at this job is not for the money at all. She just likes it, which is really cool. Substitute? No, she's not. She doesn't work in a classroom. It is important to know about the lava. Maybe they could think it was orange juice. Well, Pope, the sign says right above the orange juice that falling in lava is a quick way to die. If the player thinks that it's orange juice after reading the sign that's literally over the lava, a little secret between you and me and Ink, I want them to die. I want them to die in the game if they think that lava is orange juice. I really want that to happen to them. That way they never make that mistake again. Okay, so the audio is irrelevant on these videos. None of these videos are going to have audio in-game. So I'm just going to start watching the videos, and maybe I'll commentate from time to time. So the first video... Wow. Let's just always use VLC. That'll be fine. And I know there's some duds in here because as I, took videos, I did not always keep them, or I did retakes. See, I think this, yeah. Okay. You know what? Let's just move this into trial 3 and then go next. We don't need to pick each one apart until it's time to edit. All right. Trial 3. Actually, can we do it that way? Is this one trial 3? I might be able to just select them all. Okay. No, that's trial 4. Okay, so these 3 we know can go to trial 3. This is trial 4. What is this one? The reason you voice act is for fun, not just for money? Yeah. Well, I love the idea of anyone being able to voice act or just do any job because they love it, and it happens to make them money. That is the ideal. Okay, so this is another for 4. I took a couple videos here to kind of demonstrate the magic reflect effect. Because that might be useful in trial 4. These are clearly trial 5. This is 6. Trial 6, trial 6, trial 6. Trial 6 had quite a few. Mostly because like showing the player how to do a critical strike backstab is kind of like it's something that most players don't really intuit. Okay, this is when we start looking at followers. What's this? Okay, this is also followers, so we'll move. I can see these are all leadership. This is leadership. Okay, so these are all trial 7. Six, 7, and then 8. I can see the potion in my hand, so I already know that's 8. 8. All these are 8. Move. And then this is tinkering. The rest of these are freaking tinkering. So trial 9. You know what you could be fun to add to trial 7. I don't want to add anything to trial 7, but let me hear your idea. I already went through and did the polish pass on trial 7, so I'm hoping not to add anything else. But trial 7 is what? Followers? What do you think could be helpful? Because I was having a hard time with followers. That is a tricky trial to make. A poly potion. I deliberately avoided poly potion. So I give the player all the ingredients they would need to make a polymorph potion, and if they wanted to, they could experiment with that in that trial. But polymorph is a complicated mechanic with a lot of like facets to it, and I don't cover anything monster race related in the trials. So yeah, you almost think that polymorph could be its own dang trial. Yeah, like that's kind of an elite strategy, polymorphing your allies. Not because it's hard to do, but because you only do it if you know what you're doing. So this is one of the last, I think the last video I took last night, and it's the only one that I used the camera angle. So I'm just setting this up. So I'm just parking the camera here so that you can watch the guys come out of the teleporters. And my hope is that I can put this, you know, some version of this video on a sign so that players can understand where enemies are going to come from and prepare their combat a little better without having to die first. I don't think I ever get a good wave 3. Yeah. Definitely made this trial easier. Okay. We'll see. I might need to do some more tweaking on trial 9 yet. I can now delete this now that I've organized those videos. And it might be wise for me to go ahead and start with trial 2. Here's this trial 5. Okay, these are edited videos. Let's see what I got for trial 2. Trial 2 might actually be ready. So this is the backpedal video, just to demonstrate how much faster you can go when backpedaling, or compared to backpedaling. It's already edited. Yeah, that one's pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, okay, all these, trial 2's in good shape. We can move on from trial 2. Trial 3 needs editing. So my first step is I'm just gonna load all these videos into my video editor here. I'm using a Vegas Movie Studio 15, which is one of their low-end products, and it was inexpensive to buy. I recently purchased a more expensive suite from Vegas because I hoped that it would just be like this but with more features, and it turned out that a lot of it was arranged in a different way, and that I didn't have the controls I wanted at my fingertips, which sucks. I was gonna have to learn a totally new way of editing, and I just don't have time for that right now. So I went back to the unupgraded version of their software because I found it to be easier to use, and we'll see if I ever upgrade it. Still Vigorous Pro 11 or 12, yeah. I mean, Vegas is one of the best video editors I've ever used. It's what I was taught in when I went to college. I took 2 video classes, video and film style classes. As an animator, you actually cover a huge range of artistic skills in animation education, because you got to know how to draw, you got to know how to paint, you got to understand filmmaking, storyboarding, camera work. You got to understand film theory, and then lastly video editing, and the video editing has a taste of audio editing in it, and so there's like a lot of those cool skills I learned in my animation class. Okay, so, and what is this one? This is another garbage video? Okay. So we're gonna edit these 2 together. This one, oh, we're using gamepad on this one. Okay, so that is a separate video because they don't go on 2 separate signs. The only Vegas I use is Fallout New Vegas. Pope! That's not what we're talking about. Silly goose. So the size that the full-size videos display in-game is 366 by 266 pixels. Oops, I did that wrong. Can I undo that? Can I undo that, please? There we go. 366, 266. I did 366 high and then put the center on 266, which is wrong. So now that I have that aspect ratio correct, I lock the aspect ratio, and then I can scale it up to whatever size I want, and I'll know it's in the right aspect ratio. Now there are some videos where I will, in fact, every video where I can, I would greatly prefer to have it be a tall video, a video that is like in vertical format, because it takes up less space on the screen and is much more focused in what I expect the player to look at as I'm teaching them with the video. You don't manually zoom everything in. Well, I mean, the first thing I do is I put I set the aspect ratio to be correct, so that then for the entire rest of the clip, it's playing in that right aspect ratio. And I'm biasing the frame towards the left side of the screen because this is an inventory focused video. And then I'll manually zoom on things that I think are relevant to do that with. But I will start my video here. That'll be like frame 1. And actually this I may not zoom in at all. I mean that's, yeah, this video might actually just mostly be cuts and fades because it's already zoomed into the right spot as far as I'm concerned. Like, I don't want to capture any of the HUD down there, which is unfortunate because that's where the pit is. Okay, let's just try this out. And let's zoom in a little. Let's zoom in a little more. It'll be better framing. Okay. And some of these songs are just bangers. I'm like fiddling with the mouse in the video and it takes me way longer than it should to get me over to the inventory, so I'm just going to cut that part of the video out. And I'm going to do another cut here, probably do a sneaky, maybe a sneaky fade here. Because I changed camera angles. So when I cross two clips over each other like that, they crossfade automatically, which is just fine. This is perfect. This is exactly what I wanted to get out of this video. So now we have the end of the video, and I'm going to crossfade that end back into the beginning so that it's seamless. Let's see if we can get this here. And this is one of the sneaky tricks I use, is that I'll cut off some of the beginning of the video. So then when it crossfades, it's seamless. So let's go ahead and see what this video would play like now that it's been edited. That was a lot longer than it needed to be at the end there. So let's shorten it. Nope, wrong video clip. What's up, Flexo? Good to see you. It's been a not that long. I mean, you hung out with us a little bit last week. It's good to see you again. Okay, so let's try this again. This video is really more for entertainment than anything. I need to cut this off. Right, because we're just playing to the beginning of the clip, not to the end of that clip. Just finished work, chilling out. Are you familiar with DaVinci Resolve? Yeah, I used DaVinci for a video once. I just found it to be a lot, in my opinion, it gives a lot less freedom on the timeline. Like the way that you can move things around is a little bit more restricted, and that to me is like a really big hamper on my process. And so, I do prefer Vegas. But I mean, DaVinci is great because it's free, and it is a robust editor. But I just find that like with a lot of wait, are we in video? We're in 4 right now. Trials 4. I have some of these in the wrong folders. Because this is trial 4, not trial 3. If I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I made one video with DaVinci. It took me twice as long to get it together when I was at a previous job. And the result of my video was okay. It wasn't quite as good as my Vegas video results, just because I wasn't as comfortable working in it. Okay, so I believe this is trial 3. Gosh. Traps, is that trial 3 or 4? Why can't I remember? Looking down the hallway, on the left is totally curses, so that would be 3. Okay, so this is a trial 3 video, not a trial 4 video. So I'm gonna save this as dump mk render, and because these videos are so short, they take a very short time to render, which is nice, and we can watch them immediately afterwards. And we're not going to convert them to the format that the game uses yet. One of the annoying things about Vegas is that I can't save out videos to an arbitrary resolution. I have to pick like you know, a predetermined format that it goes in. Like, oh, is this for YouTube or is this for television or whatever? And then using a different tool, I can crop them to my satisfaction. So it's a little. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I upgraded to another piece of software, but ended up not being what I hoped for. Okay, let's do a new folder, label edited. Put our dump MK video in there. And this is what we just edited together. And it's on loop already. And we're looking for a clean loop here. Yep, has a super clean loop. I'm satisfied with this. It's not a particularly dramatic video, but it's awkwardly framed, just given the subject matter. And I'm trying to hide on-screen prompts from mouse and keyboard. Although maybe I didn't need to do that now that I think about it. That's okay. I think this video is good enough for now, and then we can move on to the gamepad version. Remembering that it's okay if it shows gamepad controls. All right, that was quick. We did a sneaky hide of actually we can trim this video down even further. We did a sneaky hide of where we switched from mouse and keyboard to gamepad, which is the whole when we took more time in looking at our inventory than needed. Just like with a quick cut. But it gets what I really wanted, which is this rapid dump of 4 items in there. So let's go ahead and save that video. Alright, we're only, what, a half hour into the stream. We're already done with 2 videos after organizing them, which is great. We're going to go ahead and save this as, let's go to video, stream captures, trial demos, trial 3. Oh, and this clip is from trial 4. Okay. So apparently we didn't capture much more from trial 3, which is fine. Okay, it looks like this is gonna have to be a gamepad video because there's just no way for me to show throwing the rock without prompts coming up or dropping the prompts. Oh yeah, sorry, showing the drop prompts without that showing up. And I think I'm actually gonna show this video on the sign that tells you how to trigger traps using dropped and thrown rocks. So it's going to be sort of a combo video. What's up, Garvakin? Good to see ya. So as you can see with that video, there's a lot more in the actual video file than we needed. I guess that's the case for most video editing, for those of you who do some. So now we're just going to create the loop. This one's most of the way there. I'm gonna do some trimming up so that it transitions a little bit better and is a little snappier. I think when I trimmed this video, some of the keyframes got messed up, so I gotta go fix them. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. It's a lot snappier. I'll give it one more watch. So we're demonstrating opening inventory to drop a rock, and we're demonstrating throwing a rock on video. And we're not bothering showing the boulder roll around or anything like that. We're just showing that the rock does indeed work. So this is trial 4 now. Okay, I see the last video that I pulled in here is a mouse and keyboard specific version of this gamepad one I just did for rock dropping and throwing. So I'm gonna go ahead and edit that now. I'll put it ahead of the other two, which are boulder pushing. So I'm just stealing the boulder falling clip from the previous mouse and keyboard one because I captured both of these videos in the same session, and so I didn't have another boulder to capture, so there's no reason to use a different clip. Cheers, Ink. Thanks for hanging out for a bit and watching the exciting process of video editing. Yeah, I know I got started late today, so no sweat for the short amount of view time. It's good having you around. You have a good one. Have I donated to VLC? That's an interesting question. I'm more interested in why you would ask me that question rather than answering it. Yeah, I do make different videos for mouse and keyboard. Anytime that there's a prompt that shows up in the video, like a mouse and keyboard prompt or a gamepad prompt, I don't want the player to feel like they're playing some, you know, like lesser version of the game than the default. It's really important to me that both the mouse and keyboard and gamepad versions of the game feel 100% like the main version of the game, you know, like that we as a developer don't prefer you play one way or the other. And so part of that includes, you know, having videos that faithfully represent both major control schemes. But that said, you know, people may refer to the videos also for controls if they see a control being used in the video, and I don't want that control to be wrong, at least not by default. You know, players will be able to modify their own control, so I'll never be able to make it perfect, but I want the default at least to be correct. Yeah. I recall seeing a story about the dev who never sold out the software. You're just talking about the VLC developer who never really, like, you know, went to a publisher or took any money for it. That's an interesting story. You know, like, I was using WinRAR the other day, and I just thought it was so funny that WinRAR, as a tool, it has been around for decades, and it's like, how many people actually paid any money for WinRAR? Because it tells you that it's not freeware, but it lets you keep using it no matter what. So it's like, I don't know. It's like giving out food for free and saying it's not free and then not making anybody pay for it. It's just very strange. Yeah, it feels lazy when the games don't show the proper interface. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird to me. I mean, one of the reasons why I'm gonna redo the trailers for the game is because the UI's outdated. Like, I don't want to show the outdated UI in the new trailers. It was a very short video. Very simple. WinZip with the count up before you could open the file, yeah. Yeah, Java was another one, like, I think it was like in 2012. I noticed that the new versions of Java were trying to install like malware, like toolbars into your browser window. Like you try to install Java and it'd be like, all right, would you like to install this weird, like suspicious no-name toolbar into your browser? And it's like, no. Like, you're the Java, right? Like, really, Java? You're gonna try to do this to me? You know, like treating. Just felt so unfortunate that such a big name was selling out to something so shady. And then a friend of mine was like, "Well, freeware ain't free. You know, these guys gotta make their money somehow." And it's like, I don't know what to tell you. If you're gonna make free software, I don't know, man. That happened to you as a kid? Yeah, I feel like everybody installed a malicious toolbar once in their computing life. It's a rite of passage. But like, yeah, if you're gonna take the high road and be like, no, my software is free, but then you're gonna poison it with basically virus software, like, what do you know, just sell it. Like, stop giving it away. If you're gonna have to resort to doing something like that to make your money, then it's not worth it. My humble opinion. You know, I may delete the other video and just use this generic one, because I turned off the HUD for this one, and there's nothing really in the HUD to show, so I think I'm just going to use this one instead of having two different videos. Okay, well, we finished editing all the videos both for Trial 3 and 4 in this Trial 3 video file. When there aren't that many videos, I don't like to make a bunch of different video files to mess around in. And here's Trial 5. Alright, what did I have edited for Trial 5? New folder, edited. Magic list, mouse and keyboard, magic list gamepad. Cast memorized. Get out of here, advertisement. I click do not show this again, and the program doesn't remember, and it's very... it feels very offensive to me that it doesn't remember my selection to not show that video again. It's like, show me some dang respect. Like, I click the checkbox that says don't show me. Like, your software's broken, bro. Okay, so let's look at the videos we have so far. We have... okay, this is actually a decent video. I can just make this a narrow... I can just make this a narrow generic video, which is fine, so it's not control specific. The narrow video, I think you'll barely see the hands waving, but I think that's okay. We have the furniture video. Yeah, that's fine. That's a furniture destruction video. This is going into the magic menu video for gamepads, and then going into the magic menu on mouse and keyboard. Okay, that's good to go. Is it just the videos left for the trials? Yeah, and Trial 10 hasn't been retouched yet. But Trials 1 through 9 have all of their signs and level design polish reworks done. So I'm just making videos for those so that 1 through 9 can be done and ready for testing in like beta, maybe friends and family beta, and Adventurers Guild, of course. And then finally Trial 10. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do for Trial 10. Yeah, we've been working hard, right? Yeah, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do for Trial 10. Like, that trial is extremely hard for people who don't know some of the trump card game mechanics. So like paralyze and open, like, and charm. Like, it really doesn't even matter what enemy you're facing or what level they are or what level you are. If you have those tools at your disposal, then you can just like win that trial. But a lot of people try to play that trial and be like, you know what? I like the idea of fighting with a sword and shield and armor. And so they go buy that equipment, and then the trial's too hard. And I feel like that's not fair. I should let the player win with melee tools or range tools. And because of the enemies I put in there, you just can't do that right now. So I think I'm just going to make it easier. I don't know if I'm going to bother with the imp at the end. I might replace it with like a skeleton with a staff instead, because the point of the imp is for magic resistance, not to fight, not so that the player has to fight like a level 15 enemy, you know what I mean? So, and if a player's got good gear for killing a skeleton with a staff, and they can sneak up on him and assassinate him, then that should be a win, you know? So in a way, I kind of want Trial 10 to be not the easiest, but in a way the one that permits the most amount of playstyles to victory. So that's what I'm kind of thinking for fixing Trial 10. It's just too hard right now. Make it clear you will use all that you have learned. Yeah, I just don't want it to be like, it wasn't designed to be this is the trump cards trial. Like, this is the only way to win this is to use things like paralyze and charm and invisibility and open, like, or confuse. Like, that's more of like a very specialized magic trial, and that's kind of the way it feels right now. And it's not about that. It's a trial that is about using equipment you find in shops. It's a playstyle trial, really. Oh, I have this other stuff here. Let's get rid of this. Get rid of that. Okay. Oh, so this is like the fizzle. I think I was trying to capture fizzling on this video. Okay, so I got one fizzle at the end. Alright, yeah, we'll cheat this a little bit. That's actually a pretty decent little fizzle video. Like, it shows 2 failures, then a success, and then it loops. I'm going to go ahead and export this as is because this is going to be a narrow video. I don't think I need to crop the frame at all. Especially because there's no HUD. I can crop this one freely. Okay, I think this is a book wielding and casting. This is a book wielding and casting situation we got going on here. I could split this video into... So there's 4 signs that educate on book wielding and casting. Right here, there's the one that says you can't learn some books, but you can still cast from them. By holding them. And then there's one that says that if you put it in your hotbar, you can always wield it by pressing these buttons. And then there's one that's if you're wielding a spell book, then you can press this button to cast. And then finally there's a sign that says the only way to open this gate is to wield a spell book and cast from it. And so I think what I'd like to do is just have all of that information in one video that is on the sign that says the only way to get through this gate is to cast from a book. And so if the player reads one sign, they can get all the information that they need, and it's the one that tells them what they have to do to proceed. So I think I'm gonna do that. Hopefully the sign to the right of the door will be the one that has all the pertinent information. Yeah, thanks, Guard. Let's go ahead and just watch this video real quick. What up, Command Ops? We're doing some video editing today for the Hall of Trials signs. And I'm trying to get one for casting from a book here. I think that's actually a really good spot to start this video, is the player activating the book from their hotbar. It's funny, I've got some like a bunch of weird mispresses here. And then I can stop that part of that segment of the video there. I don't know what I was doing here. Obviously, mouse and keyboard is shown here. I don't know if I have a segment of this video where it's not, or if I have the alternative. Okay, that's a good cohesive video there. What am I doing? I'm doing... Okay, now I'm trying to do mouse and keyboard version. Okay, so I think what I can do is I can use this second clip and maybe zoom in on it so that I'm not seeing the controls, and then use that for both of these videos. All right, let's do, this is gonna be a copy paste, so let's go ahead and get that first video correct. Okay, I think we got a pretty good clip that we can use for both the mouse and keyboard and gamepad after their control demo is shown. So this is a nice short video. What is it, less than 4 seconds long, or maybe right about 4 seconds long, that shows both wielding a book and then casting from it. So hopefully it won't be cryptic. Okay, this is a short video that I demoed for showing that sustained spells are recast to get rid of them. So I think I'll use the latter video only because I want the status effect icon to show up in the video. And I can do some clever editing to show that when the status effect goes away, then the light blinks out. I think it'll work. And I cast into that dark hallway just to show that, you know, the effect of light changing how the hallway looks, and so it'll be more visually obvious what's happening. Okay, what I said when I said clever editing, what I meant is that I'm going to show the player cast the spell. The light icon is going to show up like normal, but then I'm going to have another video sort of go back in time and zoom in on that icon, and then follow it down to the HUD status, and then I'm going to show it disappearing right here, but then we'll zoom back up here before the light went away, and then show it go away. So we're traveling back in time again, so that the player can see both things. In the video, it will make it seem like those things happened in sequence, when in reality we did some time manipulation to make it work. So what I'm basically trying to tell you guys is that I am Doctor Strange, and get over it. Okay, I think that is as good of a demonstration as we're gonna get of that mechanic without like making up some new way to show when a button is pressed in the video, which I don't really think is necessary. I just want to show it being turned, that it is turned on and off. So we'll call this sustained. And we'll watch the video loop once or a couple times just to confirm that it did turn out how we hoped it would. Sustained. Yeah, that's a good video. I'm happy with that. Alright, in this last video, I think I cast it to I do have like a short cold video I could do there, because I do talk about the cold spell in a sign, so I could demonstrate what slowing an enemy down looks like with cold and then killing it, because it does damage too. But primarily this one has a good video for sleep, so we'll show how powerful sleep is as well in a separate video. So step 1 is going to be cold. I think I wanted to have a video for showing how to recharge stuff using a scroll of recharge, and also to uncurse using a scroll of uncurse, but that UI is not done, which is one of the reasons why I didn't do any video captures of that. So who knows if it'll be necessary. For now, I can't do it, so I'm not going to bother making a big deal out of it. And that's already like a really good sleep video. I don't know what more I need to do to that. Just make a nice loop of the player putting a bunch of skeletons to sleep. I think the power of that is pretty evident just in that short little video. Okay, so after reviewing those videos, I feel pretty well ready to move on to Trial 6, the Stealth Trial, which will have a lot of videos in it. Yeah, so you can see quite a few videos in here. I know some of them are retakes, so we might just throw some of them out. But real quick, I'm going to take a very quick bathroom break here at about an hour and a half into the stream. I will be right back. Thanks for hanging out with me, everybody. Alright, folks, I am back. I brought a couple snacks with me, too. Let's start by viewing some of these videos. Very simple and straightforward flanking video. This game seems to lag back and forth. Movie Studio Simulator 1 out of 5 would not buy. Ah, I get it. Hey, what's up, Gen X? I just realized that that's your new name. Aloha. So yeah, this is the flanking instructional video for Trial 6. The Alan Moore video yet. No, I have not. Thank you for asking. Hold on, let me see. Alan Moore. Maybe I did. Maybe you sent that last stream. Right? Something like that. I might have watched it and I just forgot to mention it. Thank you for reminding me I need a Twitch title card. Hey, you're welcome. I have a title card, I assume. Oh, here it is, Garv. I have this. I have the video open. No, I have not watched through it yet. Hold on, let me check. It's either a hero or a villain. No, I have not watched through this yet. Thank you for the reminder. Well, tell you what, Garv, I'll listen to it as I'm working right now. It's only 2 minutes long. So I'm going to go ahead and listen to it. Yeah, hey Garv. I think that's it's a nice, short and sweet little introduction to what it means to have a depth of character development. It's kind of funny to think of a time where, like, where people just didn't need to understand a character's motivations. And when I think about sort of like the world's most ancient stories, a lot of the way that we kind of consume that those characters is as the things that they do, and I think that's appropriate. You know, actions speak louder than words, and so what's more important than what the character does, like what their adventures are? But if you don't have a look, and you can learn a lot from that, right? Like, one could argue that the purpose of storytelling is that we get to live vicariously through the experience of the characters and learn something about human nature that way, and maybe about ourselves and like what we're, like what kind of person we want to be. And so having an example of somebody who does something and then that action has consequences, and we learn from that, like, just here's an action, here's consequences. That's a learning experience. I think it makes sense that maybe some more primitive stories are really just about a character and action with consequences. But I think we learn a lot more if we know who that person is and why they made the choice they did, rather than just that they made an important choice. So I guess what I'm saying is that definitely better than no stories is one where all we see is a character's actions. And I suppose that's sort of like the one-dimensional take that he describes early in the video. The fact that there's a flaw or a struggle or something is, I think it's fine that he framed that as two-dimensional. Like, they didn't just do the thing, they had to overcome something else before they did the thing. And then the third dimension, as he describes it, is the reason why they wanted to do the thing is this, and then they ran into a problem, and that was a problem because of this, but then they overcame the problem because of this inside them, and then as a result of going through all of that, then they were able to do the thing that they wanted to do. And so there's like it's probably more fruitful for us to understand as an audience, like what that how that character got through things, and how it's like we can't just say, oh well, I don't have super strength, so there's nothing I could do to learn from this story. And I guess I'm placing a lot of emphasis on, let's call this sneak light. There we go. I'm putting a lot of emphasis on the importance of learning from the story, and I'm not doing that because I think that everything has to be some kind of edutainment or that has to have a moral, but I do think that deep down the reason why people are attracted to stories is not just because of escapism. Like, escapism's a thing, but there's a reason why certain stories resonate with us, and it's because they strike us as true, like as something that even if the laws of physics were different, there's still things that are meaningful that can occur. That's why Batman is one of your favorite characters, and Rorschach. Yeah, Rorschach is definitely a very cool character. Oh, you know what? This was supposed to be one video, I believe. So we'll have one version where the hero dies, and one version where the hero takes off their torch and does not die. Yeah, I mean, to call back to our conversation on Friday, Garv, it's like, I don't think people really like stories that that don't have that don't ring of something true, something human, something that could happen or calls to a situation that we could imagine being in. And when I talked about it on Friday, I described that as something that's truly human about the storytelling. Oh, Alan Moore made Rorschach? That's cool. I did not know that. Of course, I didn't read Watchmen either. Yeah, and that's what I loved about Cyberpunk 2077 storytelling, is that there's is that despite all the trappings of Cyberpunk, I felt like the game used that stuff as a foil to say something sincere about humans and what it means to be a mortal being and all that. I need to delete this old Sneak Light video. Boom. And save over it. Yes. Okay. Yeah, well, thanks for reminding me that you sent me that video. I appreciate it. It's I love storytelling. He made Watchmen, V for Vendetta, and Batman the Killing Joke. You know, I watched the Killing Joke cartoon that they put on, HBO Max and Netflix? And I think I like the comic book better than the movie. But also I think, like, man, I really just like stories that don't take themselves so seriously when they've got a lot of fantastical elements in them. And so, like, the sort of love story between Batman and, I think, Batgirl in The Killing Joke struck me as like really out of place and weird. But the end of The Killing Joke was a lot more implicit, and I think did a good job of saying what the writer was trying to say. It must have been Alan was trying to say. Okay, we got that torch video done. We showed the consequences of using the torch and trying to sneak, and then we show the consequences of not using the torch and trying to sneak. And that is what I was going for. So that video's done. Let's go ahead and save this. Video, screen captures, trial demos, trial 6. I'll just save it here. Makes me kind of wonder, like, I think in general people tend to be really critical of love stories, or when love like relationships are used as a theme in like action movies. And yeah, it was really weird. Yeah, it's just pointless. It seemed really out of place. This video's really dark. Yeah, I think I'm not going to use this one because I know I took a few of these. I mean, that's a good one just to show the follow-up strikes. So I think I'll do that. Oh, it was not in the comic? Man, it figures some video guy, some movie director is just like, I know, I'll add a love story. It's like the bane of every, you know, like book to TV or movie adaptation. It's like I can hear echoes, generations of nerds like me saying, wow, I can't believe they added that love triangle. And it's like, how many times do we have to say that before these people realize that nobody wants the added love triangle to the story that has nothing to do with romance? And so I'm a married man. I've been married for a long time. I married my high school sweetheart, and I have no regrets about that whatsoever. We're very happy. And I have a lot to say on love, but I don't think I have anything to say on love in a story about killing a bad guy and fighting evil in the world. You know what I mean? It's such a different subject. Like how to manage a happy home, that's a problem for peacetime, you know? Only the last 20 minutes of the movie was in the comic. Goodness gracious, that sucks. Felt sorry for the love-hate story of the Joker and Batman. Yeah. Okay, so I have a few signs. One is remember weapon type weaknesses. One is do follow-up strikes. One of them is you don't need to sneak when your enemy's back is turned. So I think as a result, I'm going to have at least 2 movies here. This is a be prepared for a follow-up strike one. That's an armored enemy. He almost always... He takes occasionally even sometimes 3 hits to kill. So the follow-up strike one is most important for that. The latter one, the player's coming from really far away. So the don't sneak when your enemy's back is turned one is probably best suited for that. But yeah, as I was saying, I feel like like when it comes to the sincere and human aspect of storytelling, like there's definitely a place for love stories. But I would say that they are stories that make the most sense in peacetime. Like love in war times. Gosh, I feel like I could get into a pretty serious topic here, but to me it's more about what we do for each other when we're surviving. It's not about romance. It's about survival and what it means to care for others when you're in danger. It's not about making a relationship work. It's not about, oh, but he's attracted to Robin and I'm attracted to Jenny and blah blah blah. Like that's not a story properly suited for wartime. You know what I mean? I like, maybe that's a narrow point of view. Listen, I've never been in war and tried to have a love story while I was out in war. So maybe somebody who's lived that could disagree with me. But my perception is that, yeah, making a marriage work when you're in a war is more about, do we have resources for the kids? Like, are you in a battle scenario where I have to rescue you? Like, these are the things I do for you because I care about you. It's not because we're fighting or arguing about, you know, like, domestic issues. Anyway. Alright, we'll just call this follow strike. I rewatched the Lord of the Rings extended editions over the last several weeks. And I watched a Hobbit recut to be one movie instead of 3 movies. That was fun. I would recommend that, by the way. There's no reason why that movie should be 3 movies. Everything that got cut was trash that shouldn't have been in the movie in the first place, in my humble opinion. But there's some stuff in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, some love story stuff that wasn't part of Tolkien's novel. The way my dad put it, I think, was smart, and that is that, man, am I tired of all my love triangles in my various war zones, and then the wars spread and I'm in a love tetrahedron. Oh boy, yeah, right. Okay, we're gonna do a zoom in on this skeleton here. But like the love story with Arwen was pretty much not part of the original Lord of the Rings trilogy. Like, yes, Aragorn and Arwen got married at the end, which is important, but it was like a political marriage that showed that the elves, specifically Elrond, you know, trusts man again to like bear the burden of taking care of the world. It's a statement about, you know, the people who consider themselves sort of most responsible for kind of like the permanence, the immortality of the world, like judging humans to be fit after the heroism shown by Aragorn on the way to defeating Sauron. It's not so much about how, you know, they were so in love that, you know, nothing could separate them, which is kind of how the movie paints it. Can't watch The Hobbit. So much in those movies is not in the book. Yeah. I think in large part the changes that Peter Jackson made it a better movie. Yeah, I mean, again, I would watch one of the 3.5 or 4 hour movie cuts of The Hobbit instead of and it's just a much better movie. There's still some trash in there, like when the big white orc just like launches himself out of the water at the end. It's so stupid. Like, I haven't seen a recut that gets rid of that yet. That's a really good video. It shows exactly what I'm trying to communicate. Alright, what's that look like when I loop it? Anyway, I think I finished my thought about that. So then you had this like this love triangle thing with Eowyn, Arwen, and Aragorn that didn't make any sense, and you know, in no small part because you know there was like that's just not how Aragorn really even perceived his relationship with Arwen. And so the way the movie portrayed it is a little bit weird. It's a little contradictory to his character. But I think what I appreciate about it, it's a lot better than other love triangles, like the Legolas love triangle in the Hobbit trilogy. Ugh. That one is just like, it's like petty drama by comparison, because at least with Aragorn, what the Arwen-Eowyn love triangle showed was that, you know, even when you've got a perfectly decent woman who doesn't know anything about Aragorn or his prior commitments with Arwen, like, it's an opportunity for Aragorn to show that he's the kind of man that is true to his commitments. Even when, you know, some could argue that it would be better for Arwen if Aragorn would move on. But, you know, the promise means something else to him, and so I think, like, when it comes to being a faithful man when you're away in battle, I think that's still a sincere human story that passes the, you know, the temperature test when it comes to, like, good love stories in movies. I think it passes compared to other ones that we've seen. Oh, I see. So much in the movies is not in the book, in The Hobbit specifically. Yeah. The cuts that I watched were called, like, the Tolkien, like the J.A.R. Tolkien cut or stuff like that. They tried to make the movie as much like the books as possible. They did a surprisingly good job, I thought. Okay, we're calling this back turn to this video. Anyway. So even though the sort of like love story with Arwen wasn't really part of the book, I'm not mad at it because, you know, I think it was true to Aragorn's character, the way that it was handled. And I think that, in general, the Lord of the Rings trilogy is too long of a book to make a good movie, or even a good trilogy. You know, I think that movies that try to introduce too many characters are doing themselves a disservice. Like, every new character that you see in a movie, like, you have to take for granted that your audience has to learn their name. They have to care about who that person is. And so if that character doesn't do something of meaningful, lasting importance, like, the audience doesn't want to get invested in them. Like, you're doing your audience a disservice that they get invested in this character that then never shows up again. And so I think it was wise to, you know, like, have Arwen take on some of the jobs that other characters did in the books, because Arwen's a character who matters to us at the end of the story. Otherwise, it would be like, where the heck did this Arwen lady come from? Like, what does she have to do with anything? And yet somehow she's really important, and it's like an arranged marriage. Like, it would just not sell well for today's audience. So anyway, big Lord of the Rings nerd, and I have strong feels about that. I will say that I felt Eowyn, that was not only the commitment, but also a lot of window for the fact that Aragorn's like 82 or 87. Yeah. I think in the movie he says his age is 87 in Return of the King. Okay, with this video we're showing the contrast between what happens when you try to kill a character or kill a skeleton with a mace versus a sword. In other words, using the sword is a bad idea. So we're gonna attack this skeleton with a sword. And yes, he dies eventually, but I took several hits. But with the mace, it's like literally a hit. So that's what we're trying to show here. We can probably shorten this video a little. Yeah, like right here. Seven hits, 1 hit. It's a pretty big difference. Pretty doggone big difference. Well, I'm definitely Gen X. Or should I call you Heoli? Am I even pronouncing that correctly? Listen, I'm not a Hawaiiologist, but I'm wondering if my thoughts about that love story was aligned with yours as a book nerd, Lord of the Rings book nerd, because like I know that my dad was pretty offended at the love story and the making Arwen responsible for a lot of that stuff. But for me, it was just more about like, I thought it's, for a movie, better storytelling where I'm not trying to learn a million names in your world, most of which won't matter by the time the movie is over, you know? You love how Hoale, I pronounced it. Well, what are you gonna do? It's phonetic. Howley. Oh. Howley. Okay. I pronounce it like guacamole, which is delicious, by the way. Freaking love guacamole. Okay, we got a nice little looping video. Bombay before I go and bust your face. Well, I'm hesitant how much of this I want to do on stream. I know you're from Hawaii, but I'm not. There's certain things I can't get away with. Okay, so yeah, this is a great little weapon type demonstration video that, oh my gosh, it's night and day. It should be incredibly obvious to the player the difference between using a sword and using a mace on these skeletons. Of course, I think the first one has a shield and the second one doesn't, but it makes the point more strongly, even if it's slightly dishonest. So we'll say sword mace is the name of this video. So we teach weapon type stuff in Trial 1. But because this is the stealth and backstabbing tutorial, we remind the player that those mechanics still really matter to a successful assassination if you use the right type. So it's just one of several lessons in here that's still relevant to stealth strategy. I love that video. Okay, here's the sword mace video. I helped my redhead friend understand Dune before we watched the movie. Poison Needle might be a better call for a movie where 99% of people haven't read the books. Huh. Yeah. All right. So you see, we have 5 videos now. We have the follow-up strike video. We have the back-turned video, and we have this weapon types video, all related to successful backstabbing. All right. What more videos do we have in here? We've actually edited most of them down. Oh, this one is about removing light sources. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and do this removing light sources one, because this is one of the lessons from the sneaking trial that I've seen people not really embrace. Like, everybody who's played Thief before doesn't have a problem with this. What is this doing? Let's close this extra movie window. It's probably eating up my resources. we're gonna start the video about here. Let's go ahead and crop this down to size first, 366, 266, and then we're making so. Okay, so we can see there's a goblin, and we sneak out and we steal the torch. And then we do there should be water arrows. The closest thing we have to water arrows is actually you can command your tinkering bot to go and take torches off the wall. And since the rogue starts with a high tinkering skill, that's why he's a good lockpicker, there's actually a pretty good chance that you'll have a tinker bot that could go and do that job for you. Okay, that's a nice, concise little video, actually. So let's go ahead and... I mean, it's one of our longer videos so far, but... let's see what that looks like as a unit. You did not know that is cool. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I think the gyrobot is kind of underrated. People like use it to find traps and do teleport strats, which is cool. But I also think that like players tend not to use the sorry, I'm thinking about how I should. If there's anything else I should do here. I think I want to zoom in on the goblin. Let's go ahead and move this stuff and do a fade. Something like that. Yeah, I'm hopeful that that communicates the intent, which is remove the torches so you can get stealth kills and move quickly. Yeah, the fact that the rogue doesn't start with a tinkering kit either is sort of a problem for his character, because he's pretty heavily invested in tinkering. But the Mechanist is a character that starts with the tinkering kit, so I mean, we could do something like just start him with a gyrobot. But let's call this darken. And this is what? A 7-second long video? Howley. His low self-image of his conversational skills. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, I think I'm actually not going to do any more of these videos for the stealth trial. Like I included, you know, that video because it's like with 3 hits instead of 2. Did I play the Thief reboot. I did not. I own it. I read the reviews. I heard it was really bad. Then I saw that it was on sale for like $4 or $7 or something at one point, and I was like, I love the old Thief games. I might as well try this one. And I actually knew a guy who works on the new Thief trilogy who lives in, Montreal? Or is it Ontario? You know, one of the two cities in Canada that are there. Alright, good job on Trial 6. I think that's all the videos we need for Trial 6. But yeah, anyway, I heard that it was more of like a AAA action roller coaster thrill ride game, which I'm just like, that's not what Thief is at all. Thief is an immersive sim. What are you guys doing? It's a shame. Gen X. Howley. I'm off to go buy props for making sci-fi guns, but I think these videos are really clear. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you saying that. I also love the old games. I think the new one is also good. Oh, okay. Well, thank you for your perspective. I'll give it a shot. And one of the things I'll try to do when I play it is I'll try to judge it for the game that it is rather than the game that it isn't. I've noticed a lot of people who aren't fans of Barony tend to leave a negative review that indicate that they were expecting a completely different game. And everything we try to do in our advertising is to make extremely clear what kind of game it is. This is like the dumbest, simplest video on the planet. It shows recruiting. Easy peasy. The itch to play Barony is growing worse than the thing I told you about. That's cool, man. Well, I'm almost done with these trials, Gen X. I should just call you Howley instead, so that all my Hawaiian viewers can see that I know how to pronounce it. But yeah, it would. I would love for your feedback on especially the new revised trials. Howley boy. And so as soon as they're done, man, I'll hit you up because I want to watch you play through them. Okay. Simple video. That's how you recruit. Simple. I mean, the last video that I made that was that simple was the one of how to pick up torches off walls. But it's like, couldn't hurt to show. Couldn't hurt to show. Let's make a new folder here. You know, you'll be honest. I demand honesty. Yeah, well, yeah, all that I'd ask of you is the same thing I'd ask of people who buy the game, which is just like, understand that this is a first-person roguelike RPG. That's what it is. And people who want it to be a roguelite or an open-world crafting sim, those people will be disappointed. That's not what the game is. So, as long as that isn't the feedback, then we'll be good. Ugh, these follower videos are going to be a pain in the neck. Yeah, a lot of them took a lot of tries to get good footage, so I'll be going through this for a while. When GTA turned out to not be a high school dating sim, I was so angry at Rockstar. I mean, that's a thing, man. Like, that's what I feel like happened with Cyberpunk. Other than the you know, technical launch issues aside with Xbox One and PS4, you know, that's a technical gaffe. Like, they made some serious mistakes. Hold on a second. Yeah, if people judge that game for what it is rather than this sort of fantasy game they had in their head, I think it would have been a lot better received. And I think it's a fantastic game. working on a cyberpunk costume before you play, record, stream it. Cool, man. I'll look forward to seeing that. Okay, those two clips make a nice gamepad interact command tutorial there. Bully is the best high school dating sim. That's fine, and it's from Rockstar, so yeah, I never played it. I have Bully. I forget how I obtained Bully, but I have it with Rockstar's catalog. Okay, yeah. I've recorded me changing settings and stuff. Okay, this is gonna be the mouse and keyboard setup. So this is actually a second video here, but it's doing the same thing, so I think I'll go ahead and finish editing. Oh, that's something I didn't show in the gamepad version, is that it opens that door. I think I'll steal that footage. Okay, this is a completely separate video here. Alright, so I'll cut this here and move this ahead. That's a totally separate video for a separate sign. And this is the... right here. I didn't say do that. There we go. Okay, I think that's a valid video there. I'm gonna do a little grind here to make this video polished a little better. All right, we got 2 more videos done. We first did the recruit video, and now we did these the mouse and keyboard gate interaction and the gamepad game interaction. And then still working with the same video file, we have using quick commands to pick up an object using the interact command. Now, we've already shown how to interact, but we haven't shown the effect of a character like this having a piece of equipment. So we're going to go ahead and make a video about interacting with the lantern there. Have you seen the new Batman movie? I have seen The Batman. It was definitely a very different Batman movie. I broadly enjoyed how they kind of... Well, first off, how Batman actually, like, hung out and talked with people in the police department. Like, in his existence wasn't, like, a secret to them. Which I felt like was something that I haven't seen since the 1960s Batmans. So I thought that was pretty cool, actually. And then the ways that they tried to like modernize it was all right. Like the social media stuff, I found to be kind of lacking. Like the stuff with the Riddler. And that's more or less because I feel like that stuff often gets written by people who don't really understand it, and so it's hard for me to buy it. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm not gonna be able to use this video. I might have to go collect more footage for that. I got the mouse and keyboard version, but not a gamepad version, and the follower needs to match in the video, so I can't splice footage from the other one. So I'm trying to show here that turning off tooltips is important to recruit through a gate, and because that's one of the new lessons. Oh no, I just looked at the time and I actually have to wrap up the stream real quick. But yeah, to wrap up the conversation, yeah, the Batman was a pretty cool take. It felt very unique and original, and I enjoyed it. But yeah, I have to go. I'm gonna be responsible for my kids in just a few minutes here, as my wife has taken off to do some other things. So sorry for the short notice. Sorry I didn't get to get to the more finished sides of putting these videos in the game. Maybe late tonight I'll stream. That might be fun. And if not, I guess it'll just leak into tomorrow. So let's go ahead and save this as our trial 7. I really wish that this would remember where my folders are. Part of me is like self-conscious navigating through my folders on stream. I know, like, you know, it's not like it displays my IP or anything, but like seeing what my folders are named, like, it just feels a little weird sometimes showing you all that. But anyway, I probably should get over it. Yeah, you're welcome, Garv. It's always great to have you around. You and everyone else who shows up and says a word or two. Really appreciate you. Thanks for coming to hang out. And I hope you'll have a fantastic freaking Monday evening. Cheers, folks. Bye-bye.